go to solution sign up demo, right click on this, go to add new project. Select this .NET Core in web and select this ASP.NET Core web application. Give it a name. For this project I have given it as sign up API and I have already created the API. So click OK. It will take some time and it will create a API in your project. It will take some time and then you can see that sign up API will be created. So if you go in the sign up API, it has already created these files and folders. Now if you have any dependency error in your sign up API, then you can just build this API and the dependency error will be gone. And then you can go to debug and just press this start without debugging. It will open something like this. It will open this particular page in the default Chrome browser. For me it has opened in the Chrome browser. Now why this page is opened? For that, if you go to the controller, this value controller will be there in your controller folder. And if you open this value controller, then there is a method, HTTP get method will be defined in the values controller, and so this particular method is rendered for the first time by default. We will change this later, but for now this will be rendered by default. Okay, so that we will discuss later. For now, let us see how the flow will be of this sign up API. So the first thing will be program.cs to be loaded, and this will call this startup.ts, and here we will write our code to do any setting for the sign up API. We will do CORS setting later in our video. For now we don't need to change anything in this particular .cs file. In this program.cs or in this startup.cs we don't need to change anything. So for now let me close it. Now suppose we want to create our user defined controller. We don't want to use this value controller. So go to controller, add controller. Select this API controller, add, and give it a name. So I have already created because it takes some time. So I have given name as user controller. So type as user and add. It will take some time and it will create a controller, user controller. Go to user controller. You will get something like this. Here we can write the HTTP get put and all the HTTP methods. So for the registration we are going to write HTTP post method. So for that we are going to, okay, first of all let's create the constructor. For that type CTOR tab twice. It will create the, this is the shortcut to create the constructor. Okay, we will use that later. So for as of now we are going to create a HTTP post. So type public, okay, this is going to return something JSON result. Register, okay, so this is going to return something JSON. Okay, for that now this register method will accept a parameter of the object type, some object type, and how that will be decided. So in our Angular app, if you go to the folder view, go to the Angular app and go to userservice.ts, we are getting this user as a parameter to our API. So we also need to define something as user in the API. So for that, let's go to API. Let's create a folder here. add add new item, select this visual C class and click open, and rename the class to user API. Remove this constructor because we don't need it, and give the name as user user okay. Now declare some instance variable public string full name, then public string email ID, public long for mobile number, and public int age. These instance variables name should match with the name of the interface of the Angular. So go to Angular app, this user interface user.ts file, and check with the instance variables name. Here full name, email ID, mobile number, age. These names should match with the user API class variables name. So full name and this n should be small n. Okay, now go to user controller, and here we will take a parameter of type user API. From here we are going to call the business layer. From this diagram also you can see this HTTP service will make a call to BLL. So we are going to call the BLL from this particular method, and for that we need to create a business layer. So go to the solution view, right click on this solution, add a new project. Select this class library and give a name as BAL. Okay, click OK. Wait for some time. This BAL is created in our solution, and it has created a class 1 by default. Just delete this class, and we will add another class to this BAL. So just right click, add class. Select class, give it a name as add. Give the name as BAL call. Now we are going to create the constructor, and for that type CTO or double tap. We'll use that later. Now we are going to define a method to register the user, which is going to result a boolean value. So type register, and now again this is going to take a parameter of user type. this user type, but this user is from the sign up API, right? So now we are going to create a common layer, and that common layer will contain a class, and we will define some instance variable to that particular class. I will explain later why are we going to need that, but for now let us create a common layer. So go to solution, add new project, and again select this class library. Give the name as common. Click OK. Here if you see this class 1 is created, just delete it. And now we are going to create a model in this common layer, model folder. So go to add new folder and give a name as models. We are creating a models because in this model class we can add more than one class. That's why we have created a model folder. Now go to add and class. Name it as common user. Click add. In this common layer we will declare some instance variable now. Public string full name public string email ID. We'll give the same name as we have given in the interface or in this user dot in this user API.cs. So let me declare first public long mobile number, public int age. So this common class is ready now. Common user class is ready. We can use this particular class in the business call. So go to BL, and in this BL call we can use that particular common layer class. In this BL we need to add the reference. So go to dependencies, right click, add reference, tick this common layer and click OK. Now we need to give common users here. So common user, name the variable as common user, C user. Okay. Okay, just go to this common user and give this access specifier as public. Here if you see, you will get some suggestion as using common layer models. So check that. This error will be resolved now. Now if you see, from this business layer we are making a call to data access layer. Right? From this business layer we are making a call to data access layer. So we will add a project data access layer in this solution. So go to solution, right click on it, add new project. Again choose this .NET Core and class library and name it as DAL. Click OK. This will create a project DAL in our solution. So wait for some time. So this DAL is added now, and it has added a class 1. So remove this class 1. Now from this DAL we are going to access the database, and for that we will use something called Entity Framework Core, which is available as the NuGet package. So go to dependency and manage NuGet packages. We are going to install something called Microsoft Entity Framework Core.SQL Server. SQL Server because we are going to use SQL Server for our database. So this is a provider. So just click this first option and select the version. For selecting the version, check your SDK version, which is 2.1 for me. So select something which is greater than 2.1, but make sure it is less than 2.2, so that we will not get any dependencies error. So I am selecting as 2.1.3 and click install. It may take some time. Just click this OK. Okay, it will ask you for some. Okay, let us wait. Yeah, so it has asked to accept this license. So click accept, and it will install the Entity Framework Core.SQL Server in the dependencies. So let's wait for some time. So if you see, this installation is complete. Now we also need to install something called Microsoft.EntityFramework.Tools. We need these tools to perform some operation on the database, something like scaffolding. We will do a scaffolding after installing this. So let's install it first. So select this Microsoft Entity Framework tool. Again go to the version. Select 2.1.3 again, the same version that we installed for the Microsoft Entity Framework SQL Server, and click install. It will again ask you to click OK. Then it will ask you to accept it. Accept the license, and now it will install this Entity Framework Core.Tools in your dependencies. So again wait for some time. So this Entity Framework Core.Tools is also installed. So let's close this window, and now these two packages, Entity Framework Core and Entity Framework Core.SQL Server and .tools, will help us access the database and perform some operation on the database like a scaffolding. Okay, so let us do the scaffolding now. And for that we need to resolve all the errors in our solution. And then we need to build the solution. Okay, so to resolve this error, I am just giving it as return true just for now. Let us see if we have any error apart from this. So go build this solution. Let the build complete. Okay, so no error. Now we will do the scaffolding. So go to tools, NuGet package manager console, and here just type something, get help, a scaffold dv context, and this will give you the syntax for the scaffolding. So we need to give something like a scaffold dv context, then connection string, then provider string, and then our output directory. So this connection and this provider name is optional. We can directly give the value of the connection string. So let us type the command, that is scaffold dv context and then the connection string. So connection string will have something like this: data source, and that will be local source. So for us it is local server, that is dot, and initial catalog will be the name of the database, and for us it is customers dv that we already created in the starting of our video, and then integrated security, and that will be true for the Windows credential. So this is the data source. So this is the connection string, that is data source, initial catalog, and integrated security. Now provider name will be this one, this Microsoft entity, Microsoft dot entity framework core dot sql server. And now we need to give the output directory. So type output dir and the name of the folders where we want the mapping of the database. So that's it. Just hit enter. So if you see, this models folder has been created, and in that model folder 2.cs file, customer.cs and customer db context.cs has been created. So let's close this window and let's see what is customer.cs. So if you see customer.cs, so it is containing four fields as full name, email ID, mobile number, age, and these four field names are the columns of the database. If you see, when we created the database and table in the database as customer, we gave full name, email ID, mobile number, age as the columns. So in this class, customer class, these are all the instance variables of this particular class. And in this customer db context, there will be some methods, and let us check. So this particular line is public virtual db set customers, means this customers is a instance variable of this particular class, and it will contain the set of all the customers, means all the customers those are present in this particular table will be available in this particular customers. So we will use that. One more thing we need to understand, this one, this connection string. So this is our connection string, and by this line the connection with the database will be established. We can also fetch the connection string from some file if it is given in some app setting file, but for now we are going to use it like this only. So nothing to worry. In our coming videos where I will create the videos on different topics, I will explain how to fetch the connection string from some given file. So just comment this line. Okay. Now let us write a method in DL. So for that, okay, now we need to write to fetch the data from the database in our data access layer. So for that, go to right click on DL, go to add class and rename the class as data fetch. Okay, we will write it as data fetch add. So a class data fetch is created, and now we will use this class to fetch the data from the database.